Hey everyone, welcome to Sly News right here. It's only Mr. Sly Media. This right here is going to be my review on Sinners, the film everybody's been talking about, the best film I've seen so far this year. I'm going to say it. This film is real good. I know if y'all saw my out of theater reaction, you know how much I liked it and enjoyed the film. I went to go see it. This film is good, and it actually is the first ever horror movie to get an A plus cinema score ever. So congratulations on that for Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, the whole cast. The first ever horror movie to get an A plus cinema score. So man, this movie is good, entertaining, fun. I really enjoyed it. Don't even feel like a vampire horror movie. It actually feels like just a regular good movie. Just overall, talks about the history and everything like that. What was going on around that time, back with black people and everything. So this movie is so good. Definitely good. So much stuff that went on in this film. So bear with me because it's gonna be a very long video. Definitely, and so the film kind of starts off pretty much Michael B. Jordan. He playing both characters, which he does a good job. That you can't tell that it's Michael B. Jordan when he plays these twin brothers named Stack and Smoke and all. And they moved to Chicago. They came up off some money and stuff like that. And they decided, from being Chicago, they came up off some money, in not in a good way how they came up with the money, but hey, they came up with some money and all that and robbed and all that and used the money to buy this land to make a juke joint over there in the South, which pretty much code for like nowadays you would say nightclub and stuff like that. Pretty much that's pretty much code for that. They used the money they got, they robbed some people in Chicago and used that money down there to build to build a nightclub and all that over there in the South and stuff. But they don't know what they don't know is the area they're looking at is actually a Ku Klux Klan area and stuff like that, where they of course kill black people and all that and everything. So they don't saying they don't even know that at first, but that's how the guy gets them to invest their money and all that and everything like that to buy it so they can help build a nightclub and stuff. Also, as well, I forgot to talk about this. Ron Coogler did say also the film he is inspired by the film I watched it actually Puss in Boots. He said in an interview, which that's very funny. I actually like Puss in Boots, especially the second one. If you haven't seen Puss in Boots, check it out though. That's definitely a good movie. But to say he was inspired by that, that's oh man, that's definitely like interesting and entertaining. I get where he's coming from by looking at the movie, but hey, I like that. Puss in Boots is a good film, and y'all know how much of a big Shrek fan I am. If you've been watching my channel for years, I've been always talking about how much of a big Shrek fan I am. So, but that's he was inspired by that in the film and all that. Now, also they got a cousin named Simi as well. That I was talking about the film, but also they have a cousin named Simi, who's wants to be a big guitar. Has his guitar he plays and everything. Wants to be a big time musician, but he has a father who's a preacher who's against it. That's why his nickname is always Preacher Boy. That's the cousin in the film. Then we got Haley Williams. And once I got to say this thing, and I got to say, Haley Williams looks so good in this film. Oh my goodness, boy. The way, what I'm saying, Shamik Moore brother, I understand, dog. I understand why he was crushing on her. The way she looks so good in this film and all everything. And actually found out recently reading an article about saying she does have a little bit of blackness in her. So that explains a lot too. But man, Haley Williams looks so good in this film. Boy, like I said, Shamik Moore, I'm gonna say it again, brother. I understand, dog. Why he was crushing on her, bro. I understand, dog, and everything. So, but her character's name in the film, I want to say her name right. Her character's film, the name is Mary, who has a relationship with Stack. Cause her mother has took Stack and Smoke in when they were younger and all that, cause when their father died and everything. So and also she has a relationship with Stack, and all that and everything. She's came back since her mother has passed. She has came back in town and all that to see them and everything like that and stuff. So they trying to rekindle. She's trying to rekindle something with him and everything that's going on in the film. Then also Smoke as well. He has another relationship, well, with this character named named Annie and all that. Forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce the actress name thing. I'm gonna just say Wimmy. Wimmy, she actually has been. I know she was in the Loki television series. She's been in a couple of films, but I remember mostly her seeing the Loki television series. She was in that, so that's so and all that. Her and Smoke, they have a relationship. They kind of have a thing going on with them as well. So each one of the brothers have their own kind of story of what they have going on, but they decide to set up this nightclub and make it big and try to win some money and everything. I mean, try to help invest in the nightclub, and try to make some money and all and everything. After the money they invested, try to get their money back and all that for the nightclub. They're finna start, of course, juke joint. Back in the day, of course, they called it juke joint, but really a nightclub and all. So they even introduced another guy, Delroy Lindo's character, who's this drunk slash musician and all that. Who's another older guy. His character name in the film is Delta, aka Slim. They call him Slim and all that. And he still to show Delroy Lindo in this film, man. He is straight up the comic relief. I don't think I've ever seen him in this kind of space actually being doing comedy like that. But everybody know Delroy Lindo's been in a bunch of movies like Gone in 60 Seconds, This Christmas, Clockers. He's been in a bunch of movies and all that. But him right here is playing in Sinners, and him being the comedy role. I never see him do just straight comedy like this. He really is like the real comic relief in this film and all that. So funny, so hilarious in this film. He straight up steals the show in this film. So and all, so they get him. He joined in. Also another character named Cornbread, played by Omar. Everybody knows about Omar. He was been in Get Rich or Die Trying. He was in 8 Mile with Eminem. So he's been in a lot of films as well. So a lot, like I said, a lot of famous people in this film and all that and everything. So they all coming together, join and everything. Then we get the villain part, the vampires, and all that, who are kind of like our Ku Klux Klan members and everything like that and stuff. So they're trying to take down and try to pretty much get not get, trying to his whole thing, the villain arc played by Jack O'Connor, who plays like the lead character of the antagonist. Their thing is just to spread love and joy and just make everybody zombies, of course, to make everybody vampires, make them vampires and stuff like that. That's his whole thing and all that, to get everybody to love and all that, turn everybody into vampires, especially of course the black people, because where they at, like I said, is a Ku Klux Klan area and all. Which that's where we get to this part of the film where everything happens, and like I said, Stacks is the one that does get hit first and all that, and becomes a vampire. I know people may say it's spoiler that we knew Stack and Haley Seinfeld's character Mary were becoming vampire were gonna become vampires and all that by watching both of the trailers and all that. But I don't think the way it's set up in the film, it makes it work and all that. That it's not like, oh, because I always say spoilers to me don't matter in the film. Like, what's gonna happen in all that film, but as long as it's written correctly, it doesn't matter. That's how I always say. It doesn't matter about the film, about what you all know, what you know about the movie and all. As long as it's written well, written correctly, it's like that makes it good. So when it happens, when they both turn to vampires, and it happens, it's like, oh snap! But you already knew it was coming, but you see how the lead up and the build up is to it. Like Mary is the first one that gets attacked. How she gets attacked, where it's like Stack and Smoke realize they ain't have enough money. They're not making enough money at night to help keep the juke joint going, everything like that. So Mary tries to talk to Jack O'Connell's character, who plays the villain, and the people, because they make themselves sound like they're these musicians trying to be in the club and all that and everything like that and stuff. Remick, that's his name going in the movie, Remick. But Remick and them really are, like I said, they don't know they're vampires. So Haley Seinfeld thinks that, Mary thinks that oh, they're just good people and everything like that, just trying to make some music or something like that. Not good people necessarily, but think, oh, they just trying to play some music there and all that and everything. But she ends up finding out and all that when she tries to walk away from that, they give her some gold and all that, and some kind of money and everything. They end up attacking her. We see they end up just attacking her and all that and everything. Also, too, I did like a scene in the music where they show the music and see how the whole thing, where it comes from, how it started to eventually turn to hip hop and everything. I did like that scene too as well. Like I said, a lot of stuff in this film is just so good. Like, definitely just so good. But like the music scene, when they're playing the music, that's one of the best parts of the movie, when they show the music and when they play the music and all that. That's why I said the Cinema Score. I can see why it got so high rating. It's so good. The music in this movie is definitely so good. You never would think it was said about a horror vampire movie, but the music in this film is good. It's definitely good. And all. So, but it's like I said, that ends up happening. She ends up turning into, like I said, into a vampire. Then she fools Stacks, and Stacks of course, doesn't know and everything like that, and all and everything. And then when they finally, of course, the sexual stuff in this movie definitely go real hard and everything like that in this in this film, definitely. So we see the scene of them getting together and all that. And first, the cousin sees it, the preacher boy, he sees it, Simeon sees it, but he doesn't know. He think it's just Stacks doing his thing with his girl. He doesn't know that she's been possessed as a vampire. Then we see, of course, she eventually becomes that, and I see her bite him and everything, and that's how Stacks eventually becomes a vampire. So after the whole scene just goes with them trying to find a way to stop him, this gonna happen, and he says, "Hey, we have to make them in order to stop them and all and everything. He has to use garlic. That's the way to get rid of vampires and wait till midnight when they all die and everything like that." So it starts off with a real, like I said, strong scene, everything and all that and stuff. They end up catching Cornbread as well when he's out just using the bathroom. He gets caught. So like I said, they're just all trying to survive and everything. And pretty much towards the end of the movie, the only people that survive are Simeon and it's our Simeon, aka Preacher Boy, the cousin, and Smoke. He's the only one that survives and everything. But how Smoke ends up dying is he ends up taking down the clan members, ends up getting shot by does end up getting shot by one of them, but kills the last guy off before like he ends up dying and stuff. That's what he pretty much does, gets his revenge and all that. And of course, so Simeon ends up surviving and decides he's gonna go and become a musician and all that and everything. So years later and everything like that, I think 38 years since the anniversary, I think it is, since what happened and the massacres happened and all that. We see Simeon is a big time jazz musician now and everything like that. He's of course older and all that and everything. And actually, the actor that plays him in this film, the older version of him actually is a famous musician named Buddy Gray. But we see, he's this big time musician now and all and everything like that. And we see a bodyguard say, "Hey, there's some people out there that are trying to get in, and all that and everything." Says you know him, and of course we all know we all know is obviously vampires and stuff like that. And Simeon tells them to come on in and everything. And it ends up being Stacks and Mary and all. So he tells him, he says, Smoke was this one person he couldn't kill. He just said, "Hey, I made him a promise that I would leave you alone and everything and stuff like that, and let you live and stuff." And Stacks asked him, and everything, "Do you want to, grow old and everything like that? Because how many years you got left? You can, let me bite you. You can get some of this and live for eternity." He said, "Nah, he wasn't interested. He'd rather just, grow old and just die and everything and stuff." So interesting scene. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Was he gonna try to kill him or something like that? But he doesn't and all that. And I gotta say it again. I'm gonna keep on saying this. Haley Williams in that end of that scene, she looks so good too as well at the end of that scene when she comes in there as well, and all that. But once again, they talking. He tells him, "Hey, that night was one of the best nights ever." He even has nightmares about it. He says that was that for that one night we was playing music. That was one of the best nights ever. And Stack says that's the last time I ever seen my brother and everything. The sunrise together. Last time I saw him alive and everything and stuff. So like I said, Stacks, looks out. Stacks just says bye to him and looks out for him and everything like that. And they say bye to each other. So. But like I said, overall, like I said, I didn't talk about everything. I just talked about the main parts of the film and everything that happened. But like I said, definitely good film and all and everything. Because it actually is also, of course, that's actually necessarily actually a mid-credit scene when they do show, that Stacks and Mary have survived and everything like that. But like I said, overall, man, good film. Definitely good film. The best film I've seen so far this year, I'm going to say. Maybe seeing Thunderbolts in a few more weeks might change my mind and all that and everything. But, think about Thunderbolts actually drops, next Friday, and I'm already hearing good reviews about it. But Thunderbolts might change my mind, but for what I've seen now, like this film most definitely is my favorite film of 2025 so far. I don't know if it's going to be film of the year because the year is still early, so a lot of the good films that are coming out, like I said, with Thunderbolts, Superman, Fantastic Four, Avatar as well. So it's a lot of good films coming out, so I might, eventually, change my mind or something like that on it. But as of right now, this seems like this is, film of the year so far. My favorite film of the year so far, I should say. Sinners. I mean, this movie is good. Everything, comedy with the horror, the thriller. So fun, so on the time. Michael B. Jordan does his thing in this film. Everybody does. Like I said, Delroy Lindo, like I said, he's a standout and a comic relief for this film. Ryan Coogler does it again. Like I said, I'm going to add their reaction. Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, like DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese, the way they are when it comes to this, this is like a dynamic duo, man. They like Kobe and Shaq in the mid 2000s and all that, or LeBron and D Wade in the 2012s and all that, or Steph and Clay, and in the late in the 2027, I mean 2017 and 2018 and 2019, not well tripping, going all of my basketball analogy. I mean they're like Steph and Clay when Steph and Clay was winning them championships together. I should say back in 2017 and 2018 and along of course with KD joined as well and stuff. So they're like that dynamic duo, man. So and they hit another one with this one. So and all. So like I said, I enjoyed the film. Definitely entertained by and all. If you haven't seen, like I said, it's a spoilers review, but still check it out. Even if you watch this video, you'll definitely enjoy it by looking at it for yourself. Sinners is a good film. Check it out, man. And like I said, if you like the content, don't hesitate to like subscribe button to Sly News. I don't live to Sly Media. Like I said, this is my review on Sinners. Like I said, y'all have a good night. Be blessed and be safe wherever you at. This is Sly News right here on Mr. Sly Media. I'm out.